Hi, everyone. My name is Kim Beasley, and I am your small business guru coach. I am going to be presenting to you today as a live stream. Normally, I would be doing a live meetup in person, but with the nature of things, we decided to do a live stream. And during this live stream, I am going to be presenting the same presentation that I normally would have done during a meetup. So today, what are we doing? We are talking about working on the content above the fold on your home page. Once again, I'm Kim Beasley. I'm the CEO of Agape 3, and I am doing this presentation for WordPress Kansas City. Yay! We are going to be covering a few things today, and I'm going to be showing you a few examples and talking about different things you can do to enhance your content above the fold because you want that content to capture your website visitors' attention right away. So let's jump in and let's get started. Just a little bit about me. I have a bachelor's in organization management and an MBA in e-business. I create websites, and I've been doing this since 1996 and developing WordPress websites since 2004. Yeah, a long time. I love reading, writing, and binge watching old TV shows. I am an author of 11 published books on Amazon, 2 under my real name, and 9, yes, I said 9 under my pen name, which is Bree King. So today's key takeaways that I want you to learn are when it comes to content above the fold on the home page, what is above the fold content? What's important about above the fold content? Website examples of above the fold content, working on above fold content. I'm going to try to have some time where we do dive into doing this live, but we're going to kind of play it by ear. And then I'm going to talk about what's next. Let's get started. Now, before I get started, I want to mention, if you have any questions, please make sure you comment and just ask your questions, and I answer them live. I'm going to be watching for questions. And again, before I get started, I want to thank Carissa for helping out today. She's one of the leaders for WordPress Kansas City. She's one of the organizers, and I appreciate her jumping in and helping out with monitoring the comments on YouTube. And with us today, I see we have some people who have already joined in. Yay! And feel free to ask your questions. Feel free to make comments or suggestions during this presentation. So let's get back to the presentation. So what's above the fold content? You may have heard it, and you may not have an idea of what it's about, but let's kind of jump into it. Above the fold content is basically what's seen when a web visitor arrives at your website. According to TechTarget, above the fold is the portion of a web page that is visible in a browser window when the page first loads. So let's kind of think about this. When someone comes to your website, does it load slow or does it load fast? If it loads slow, they may not get to see all of your above the fold content before they leave. So when you are developing your above the fold content, think about speed, think about what you want people to know about you and your business before they decide to run away. and making sure that your website loads fast is very, very important. So let's get back to the presentation. What's important to see above the fold? It should include some of the following things. What solutions can you provide to your web visitor? Who you are targeting. It's very important that people know right off the bat who you're targeting. What brand name or logo do you have? Make sure it's displaying. Make sure that people can navigate around your website. Your contact information. A way for them to contact you is very important. And then something that's important to me, and that may be important to you too, is keywords. Woo! You want to make sure that you kind of integrate your keywords in above the fold content so that people can know what you can provide and how you can provide it. Plus, it helps with SEO. So, what solutions? Remember, that's one of the things that you should have above the fold. When it comes to sharing the solutions you provide, keep in mind that you want to entice your web visitors to stay on your website with what you do through your business. And when it comes to targeting your customers, it's important that you know who you want to reach because your content should address the needs they have. So having a above the fold content that's open to everybody is not necessarily the direction you want to go in. When you are targeting your content, make sure that you have a customer in mind that you want to reach, and make sure that that above the fold content addresses needs that they may have. Okay. Branding. Displaying your company name and logo is important to your branding. It introduces your brand to those who visit your website. Navigation. Okay. This is where you want to make sure that you help your website visitor know where to go on your website. It's smart to include a navigational menu. Make sure that you have your key pages in your menu. And I want to stress this point in the fact that some people have even created start here pages that can help navigate people around their website. That is an awesome way for you to help people get to know your website. Now, if you are listening to this live, you're watching this video live, what I want you to do is, if you would like for me to take a look at your website later in the presentation and give you feedback about your above the fold content, please feel free to share the URL to your website and I will take a look at it later on in this presentation. So let me get back to the presentation. The contact information is where you're having a way to contact you via your website. And there needs to be a way for your website visitors to easily contact you about the phone. Now we have a question, and I'll share it. The question from Carissa: is there a recommended position to put home and contact? It depends on you and how you design your website. Some people like to have left side, some people like to have it on the right side, some in the middle. I would definitely say have it at the top. Not at you. If you have it at the bottom, that's fine. If you have it in your footer, but you definitely want to have it at the top in your header, regardless if it's left or right or centered. Simply because you want people to easily contact you online. And Carissa says that she's always done home on the left and contact on the right. I always like to start my navigational menu with the home on the left, regardless if I center the full navigation menu on the right, center, or left. Home is always first, and then I usually have contact towards the end. So thank you, Carissa, for your input. When it comes to keywords, keywords can help with your SEO efforts, so it's important for you to incorporate your keywords above the fold too, because search engines love keywords. Search engines love web pages that provide information about specific keywords. And keep in mind, you don't want to do an overkill. You don't want to bombard your page with your keyword. You want to have it spaced out and not an overkill of the keywords you want to use, but just enough to where search engines will find you. So let's see some examples. Uh, the first example I'm going to share is Marie Folio. She is one of the people that I really love to follow online. And uh, if we look at the list of things that you should have on the on above the fold, does she provide a solution? The world needs that gift, special gift that you have. That's a solution that she can help you find that. Who is a target customer? I don't know. I don't believe I see it, but it's probably a little bit further down. She has her brand name and logo. She has a website navigation. She has a way to contact and looking for her keywords. I don't see her keywords. Uh, it's probably in the next section under her. Now these are screenshots I took just so everyone knows. So I can't really scroll, but it's probably underneath where the above the fold is. Let's have a look at Amy Porterfield. So does she provide her solutions in this section here? And I'm going to make it bigger. In this section, it talks about who she teaches and what she teaches them. So she provides solutions and she tells you who her target customers are. She has her brand name logo here, her website navigation, her contact is here, and she has her keywords built in. So that's really great. Another example, I have about 10 of these just so everyone knows. Uh, let's see. So, solution, what do you guys think? Is there a solution that has been that this page can provide? And this is Copy Blogger. They say smarter digital marketing and sales. So it's letting you know words that work. That's their solution. Who are their target customers? I'm assuming digital marketing and sales. Their brand name is in the upper left. They have a website navigation. And I believe they have contact and keywords. You see those. Another website is my own, and it is agape3.com. Yay! I have on here what I provide, the solutions I provide. My target customers, corporations and entrepreneurs is there. My brand name, Agape3, and my logo is up in the upper left. Website navigation. I have contact information, and I have keywords incorporated. HubSpot, another one. They provide their solutions. Their target customers is mentioned. Brand name and logo is here. If you see HubSpot, you know HubSpot right away because of their logo being integrated into their brand name. So one of the things that some people have, one person has said is on Amy Porterfield's website, she has a podcast player. Yes, she does. I love that too. I have that on one of my websites too. And it's really cool. If you do a podcast, that's something you can have above the fold if you want people to listen to your podcast. You can have it in the footer or you can have it at the top of your website. Your contact info and let's see. Yep, contact and keywords. I love ProBlogger. I used to blog ages and ages, years and years ago for one of their subsidiaries, and this is a website that has a really great above the fold because it kind of gives you a little bit of history there, and it has all their keywords built in and tells you what they can do for you and how they can do it for you. Missingletter.com is another one that has uh, a solution, more traffic, less effort. Their target customers are people who want to turn their blog posts into engaging social media campaigns. They have their brand name and logo, their website navigation. They have their contact and their keywords. Search engine journal has an interesting layout. They have also included different topics that you can actually they have different topics that you can actually check out here, over here on the right. And then when you hover over one of those, the image for that blog post will show up. So that's kind of a cool way to engage the target audience as soon as they go on their website. You get on their website, and they have their navigation, they have their logo, um, and they have the contact and keywords. Another website I have is Pamper My Business, and this is the one that I have the podcast integrated into. I have my podcast at the bottom, and after seeing Amy's at the top, I'm thinking about moving mine to the top also. Um, Solution is there, target customers there, brand name, logo there, website navigation is there, contact, yes, and keywords, yes. So, an interesting website I want us to take a look at live is Neil Patel. So, with his website, his is kind of interesting. He has a question for you. Do you want more traffic? In a sense, he's asking you to take action right away. And as you scroll down his website, you get to see more of the content that's available. However, uh, his above the fold is unique, and you could come to his website in a month and it'll be different. His website is one of those that's constantly changing, and I get some really great ideas from it too. Okay, let's get back to the presentation. I just want to kind of show you a live view. Um, so now that we have looked at some examples and we have um, checked out what it means above the fold and different ways people have engaged their website visitors above the fold, one of the things I wanted to do was build a page that would allow you to give me input into some things that you may want to see above the fold. So, and the tool that I like to use is Divi. How many of you use Divi on your websites? In the comments, just type in the word Divi. And okay, so this is cool. Cool. I'm seeing Divi show up. So this is what you see when you. I guess I should. So you have your regular page, and one of the things that you want to do is you want to click on the Use Divi button to create the page. And the interesting thing about Divi is that you can build from scratch, you can choose a pre-made layout, or you can clone an existing page. So let's say we want to go with a pre-made layout. I normally do it from scratch, or I clone a page I've already made. With Divi, you have quite a number of pages. that you can layouts that you can choose from, and I have used a number of these and then edited them to look the way that I wanted them to look. So as I scroll through, I can decide to use any of these pages. Let's go with this one. And let's choose the home because we're going to be designing a home and we're going to use this layout. And what the Divi layout does, it actually will allow you to uh, take the content that's already included in the layout and it will allow you to see what it looks like, and then you can go in and you can adjust it to be what you want it to be. And one of the ways I like to design with Divi is in the desktop view. Okay, so if we look at this above the fold, that would be right about there. And one of the things you want to make sure is that you have navigation. We don't have that, so I would have to add a navigation to this. Um, it says, "Help us save our planet, our beautiful planet," and then we can pretend it has the target people in this section here. And down here at the bottom, it has ways that you can donate. Now, for a nonprofit, this may be perfect for them because right off the bat, you're letting people know what you do, you're letting people know who can help you, and also you're giving people an option of taking action right away. You remember when we were looking at Neil Patel's website, he gave you an action right off the bat. Well, this type of website can gives you an action right off the bat, and that's really cool. So let's take a look at the preview and see what it looks like. So when we look at the preview, we can see that it uses the website's navigation, or we can create a custom navigation if we wanted to, and and you can see that in the background. I don't know if you can see the windmills, but this is kind of telling you what they do. So this is a good example of above the fold that people can kind of use right out of the box using Divi. Is if you have a website URL that you want me to take a look at and you want me to display and give you feedback, please feel free to share it. Before I end the presentation, I have just a little bit more I want to share. Now, normally when I do this presentation, I have a tendency to interact and engage with those who are present, who I am face to face with, and I look at their websites um, and I give them feedback and just a chance for me to just give those who are present an opportunity to get feedback from me so that they can make changes to their website. But since it's live stream and I don't have that opportunity to see you, you can see me, but I can't see you. I depend on you to engage with me with your comments, with your questions, even after the live stream is over. Feel free to leave questions, and I will get back with you, or someone on our team will get back with you. So let's look at your homework. Oh no, she's giving me homework. Yes, I'm giving you homework. So if you have watched the entire presentation and you realize there's some things you need to do on your above the fold on your home page, guess what? I have a checklist for you. That's your homework. Simple checklist. And here's what it entails. It just basically just simple questions that you can answer about your homepage? Do you share the solutions that you provide? Do you state who your target customer is? And let me make sure I'm sharing my screen. Do you share the solutions you provide? Do you state who your target customer is? Do you have your brand name and logo displaying? Do you have website navigation available? Do you have a way to be contacted? And do you incorporate your keywords? So that's your homework. Take those questions, apply them to your website, and then make sure that you are optimizing and that you have your above the fold ready to go. Now, some of you may want this presentation. Guess what? I have already made it available to you online. Woo! So if you go to agape3.com/IRZL, I as in ice cream, R as in rabbit, Z as in zebra. You know what? There may be a 1 or L. Hold on. Let me. If you go to that URL, and I'll make sure I put it into the page. Into the. I'll put it in as a comment. If you go to that URL, then guess what? You will be able to see the presentation. I'm going to show it to you real quick. And this is the presentation here. And I'll give you the long URL so that you can see it, so that you can access it. The long URL will be in the comments for this live stream. And one last thing, let's stay connected. Woo! You can contact me on Facebook, Twitter, or on my website. Feel free to reach out, and if you have questions or there's a topic you want me to cover at your own meeting or your conference or something along that line, feel free to reach out to me either through my business or through my personal website, KimBeasley.com. If you have any questions, once again, make sure you post them in the comments and we will answer them. Once again, thanks a lot. This is Kim Beasley, your small business coach. And I am presenting for WordPress Kansas City live stream. Instead of a meetup, I'm doing a live stream. It was great talking with you and sharing these simple tips for you today. Bye for now.